evening and welcome to the McMuscles Midnight Massacre. Chapter Ow 2.
Ow 2?
This is our second werewolf-themed episode.
It is.
Yeah, we
went hard on the werewolves this
year. We
did
Howl last time, and today is my favorite of the duo, Bad Moon. From, what, do you remember what year specifically this is from?
1996.
That's the right one.
It had a very 80s feel, but I was shocked to learn that it was a 96.
Yeah, you kept saying, like, this is from the 80s,
That's the 80s.
right? And
I found this on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
As per usual. And I did also the other one, too.
Howl was there,
Howl
too,
was also, but we couldn't pick between the two, so you know what? They're both here for you guys.
Because one is distinctly very aughts, very 2000 whatevers,
yeah,
and this one is...
and this one is very...
I felt this one was really 90s because the opening scene of Howl reminds me a lot of a movie called The Relic, which you do
Howl
not
or Bad
like.
Moon?
Sorry, Bad Moon.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Bad Moon reminds me of The Relic, which you do not like.
They're in the jungle.
Yeah.
Something horrible happened.
Do we even know the main character's name? Michael
Ted.
Paré. Ted.
Michel Paré. I'm convinced he's French. I don't know, come at me, because his last name is Paré, P-A-R-E-X.
But his name is Michael. It says it.
But his last name.
So because of his last name, he
Paré.
needs to be called Michel?
You don't have an accent if you ain't French.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe you just got handed that last name. You can't do anything with your last name. I'd change my last name if I could.
Okay, well...
Anyway. Michel Michael...
You randomly have an umlaut in your last name. You're not freaking Swedish.
Michel Michael Paré plays the main guy Ted, as you said, and he's in the jungle investigating something.
Like life, jungle stuff. You know, he has a hot girlfriend. They're gonna do sex.
Yeah, they're in the middle of the bone zone.
And they're in the tent bone zone.
And which is always a classic. Like, as soon as I saw this scene, I was like, this is going to be a
Some boy gonna die real bad.
This is going to be a good kind because it reminds me of Friday the 13th. Exactly. It reminds me of anything. So they're in the bone zone.
So yellow.
Something kills his girlfriend.
Like, horrifically.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Homeboy gets away with a scratch.
But it's a scratch that makes the rest of the film go off. Because, hey, spoilers, he becomes a werewolf.
Stupid dog.
He is, I think in the Wikipedia it's like he contracts lycanthropy or something like it doesn't.
That's the technical name for being a werewolf.
So, but he's like, we don't see what he really is, but we assume he's a scientist because he's doing all like charts and taking blood and doing
he has a blog.
Tests and like he's trying to figure this shit out. Yeah. Right. So he gets back and he's like in his little. The little silver bullet thing, like
an RV.
Gulfstream thingies, the really cute ones.
Yeah, you like them. He lives in an RV basically, and he moves to where his sister lives, but it's like Washington.
A few hours away. Like
Seattle?
I think she's in Seattle, it's in that area, and he gets back, and he's like, oh shit, this shit is crazy.
Haven't seen you in a long time, sis. She's like, cool, we want to come over tomorrow night. He's like, oh, tomorrow night? No, I can't.
When is the moon?
I cannot.
Yeah.
But we're introduced to his sister in a really other fun scene very early on.
Muriel Hemingway. She's like the actress of the 90s. She's like this blonde-haired, thick-browed madame who don't take no shit, okay? She has this child. He's not great. What's his name? His name is something like Brett. What's his name? Her name is Janet. His name is Brett. And... they live together in their big old house in Seattle, and they have this awesome German Shepherd. His name is Thor.
It's a good name for a
Sidebar, this movie is based on a book.
A novel,
that was called Thor, and it was from this actual dog's perspective, because dogs are the best.
Which I would have been interested to see more from the dog's perspective.
So the dog does play a really big role in this movie, but it was originally from this dog's perspective, because dogs
they kind of shifted a little bit,
you know,
because it's kind of between all four of them: the mom, the Ted, Thor, and bottom shelf Macaulay Culkin, this little kid.
I mean, pretty much. He's this like blonde, chili bowl haircut kid.
Just not great.
He's like, you're not Macaulay, because Macaulay in 1996 was already like, I don't know, on drugs, OD,
I think it might have been Richie Rich time.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. So, you know, he was, you know, in that era of child actors, blonde child actors trying to be Macaulay, but not succeeding.
Not really doing it.
It's fine. Poor
but
kid.
Hey, I'm your uncle,
he was
kid.
in this movie.
I'm here. Yeah. Cool. Let's hang out for a bit.
Let's do it. They go visit him, and she's like, "Why didn't you tell me you were back?" And he's like, "Well, I'm a werewolf, but not that." What happened to your girlfriend? Oh, she broke up with me.
Oh, it was a rough breakup.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, well,
we split.
Oh.
So yeah, she basically she's just basically okay, cool. Well, it's great to have you here. You want to move in? He's like, no, I don't want to move in. I'll just stay in my RV
by the lake. But then there's bodies appearing because again, he's like trying to come to terms with it, figuring it out, whatever. Yeah. It's like, could it be me killing these people when I'm wolfing out?
I don't know.
So it's like, okay, he goes to her house.
And Thor doesn't quite like him that much.
Oddly.
Just giving him the little growls. Yeah. And then they get bigger and bigger growls.
Yeah. And wait, you were saying a thing about the best scene. Sorry, we have to stop because we're going to go straight into likes.
Yeah.
And probably one of my favorite scenes in a movie ever was this man's comes up to the house and like pretends to get bitten by Thor, like antagonizes him.
Yeah.
Sort of. So that he like kind of bites him, and then he's like pretending, oh man, your dog bit me, he's the worst. Oh, I'm gonna sue you. And then she's like, oh really? Bitch, because I'm a lawyer and I see what you're doing, Flopsy. She calls him like a Flopsy. Like she understood he was like a grifter that did this, like came up to houses
and pretended to get her.
Pretended to get her, asked like the son, like, oh, your mom here lives alone? Oh, okay, well I'm gonna like pretend your dog violently attacked me so I can like try and like fake lawsuit you. And she was like, here's my card, bitch, I'm a fucking lawyer. Come at me, bro. And he was all like flabbergasted. She called him out like so fucking hard.
It wasn't much he could do.
It was an amazing scene, but like guess what? Spoiler, it really hurt him, so he comes back and tries to kill the whole family later on because like
way
masculinity's so fragile, I guess.
He just shows up and then he's just like, I don't know, it's unclear what he's going to do. But since he showed up at night, there is a werewolf protector around.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that was one of those, like, you don't feel bad because this guy was set up to be a bad guy, so, like, tear him apart or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it spoke volumes of, like, yeah, you know, a woman stands up for herself and the man just got emasculated and, like, his only, like, recourse was like, let me try and murder you.
Again,
he was going to kill the dog. Actually,
I think so. Now you say that.
Either way.
So at this point in the movie that we just kind of left off at in the setup, where it's like I'm just living. The movie just kind of. That's basically it. He
breaks his trailer in the backyard,
and he just kind of lives there, and that's the rest of the movie from a storyline perspective.
Yeah, he's trying to fight it. He tries to chain himself up to like a tree when it's
really
the full moon, and like Thor's all up in his ass, being like, "Bro, like whatever." Like they're having little kissing contests.
Yeah, and basically it's just like a push and pull of like, "Oh, I'm a werewolf, but don't get near me." But there's too many bodies piling up, and Thor gets involved like a lot. Do you want to just go into the likes and dislikes?
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to say off the bat, you watch a werewolf movie, like we talked about in Howl, it's like, how are you going to do this? You're going to have, like, bad underworld level CG, or are you going to, just have an animatronic head, or you're going to have a guy in a suit? What are you going to do? So, since this is in 96, they could have probably gone a really shitty CG route, but they just have a big hairy guy in a hairy suit with a big dumb animatronic head that I love.
His mouth. You loved it.
It has one movement. It can open its mouth and close its mouth.
You were like howling at this.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. That's all it can do.
This is very subjective. This is to us. This is to you. You love this.
I did because you
see it so rarely. CG with the transitioning a little bit.
Oh, that was CG. I don't know what that. I think that was someone drawing over his face with an Etch-a-Sketch.
It was something.
It was not a great. It was probably one of the worst werewolf transformation
scenes.
It
was not.
Lon Chaney 1940s fucking werewolf movies had better effects than that. It was real bad.
Stop motion effects.
Yeah.
They put time and effort and money into.
Not
this movie.
As an aside, they did that in the 40s when they had like the Wolfman classic ones. The guy would sit in the chair for like 6 hours and they'd film putting the makeup on his face, and he'd have to sit there as as still as he could, and that's not in this movie. It was amazing in how bad it was. But there's a big final battle between all of them. Well, whatever.
Okay, another dislike is the kid is a little bit annoying, and the thing is, the thing with the dog, they don't understand why is this dog going crazy? Why is he always breaking out? He's trying to protect the family, and they don't get it until he attacks someone.
Because he can smell the wolf.
Yeah, and then they're oh, he's dangerous. We have to bring him to the pound. And the woman is broken up about it, and the kid is distraught. This is his best friend. Thor's his fucking best friend. So the dog gets sent to the pound. This is towards the end, towards the climax, the crescendo of the movie, and you're this kid is super annoying because as children are, right? But then, this kid mans up like a motherfucker. He's hell to the no. Mom, you don't know what's going on. Shit is happening. You don't know.
Takes his bike.
He's takes his bike. He's I'm breaking this fucking dog out of the pound. Immediately. And you're the kid goes from a 2 to a 12. This kid sucks. He's annoying. You're this kid is out here doing it. He's out here getting this dog out of the pound.
No one else was going to do it. Because Ted's not going to do it. The mom's not going to do it. So he's the
mom put him there. Ted hates him because he's this guy's fucking calling me out on my bullshit. My werewolf bullshit. So the kid breaks the freaking dog out, towards the end of the movie to come fucking save the motherfucking day.
So it was a huge positive because the kid went from to okay, that was pretty good.
He did what had to be done. Redemption.
There was also a good smattering of gore, good 90s practical effects that I was a fan of. It didn't go overboard, but it was just enough where I was oh, that's awesome. Or that's really fun. A lot of stunts, people crashing through windows and such. I liked all that stuff.
In and out of the windows.
Was there anything else you liked in general? Because that 90s vibe was all over.
The 90s vibe was the best.
I was all over it like a cheap suit.
Yeah, I was too. I was the 90s vibe, just Thor. Just the dog himself. He took so much shit from this family who did not respect him and understand what he was trying to do. And then
he has a dog.
At the end of the day,
understand what he means.
He sacrificed all his lives for this family. Did everything he could. Hero of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only thing that, really negative is just the movie's not amazing in any way in terms of acting or whatever, how it's shot, whatever, the story. But I'd say, actually, the story is midway through, there's just not much going on. It's just him looking at Thor, just a bunch of scenes.
It's the giant pissing contest.
Yeah, it's just a giant, dog dick measuring contest. And it just kind of doesn't go anywhere because there's not really much of a story after that point. It's just, I'm kind of a werewolf and the dog suspects me.
Everyone's established. I'm werewolf, dog knows. Tug of war.
And aside from that, I guess that was my main thing, where it's after a certain while, you're just kind of okay, there's no other twists, there's nothing really else happening. But, I mean, it's a 90s movie, I'm kind of giving it a pass in that regard.
I think we liked it just because we had never heard of it.
Yeah.
We saw the trailer, we're yes, and then, we watched it, we were, enamored. We were oh, it was new, it was fresh to us, so someone who might have seen this back when it came out would be this is not a good movie. About. But to us it was new and it was really and what I did too is they had a final twist at the end when everything was resolved. There was a jump scare thing and it was very throwback to Carrie, the original
Was there anything you disliked about it?
I mean the mask and the stuff was kind of really cheesy and stuff, but I would say it added to the quirkiness and appeal of it, so I wouldn't say I disliked it.
Yeah. You could tell the movie's cheap, I guess. That I get that could be a negative to some, but overall,
it's good sort of campy-ish fun.
Us not hearing about it, gives it a little bit of appeal
to us.
So there's that.
Very subjective.
If you're into this type of late 80s, early 90s type thing, I definitely think it's worth a watch, especially a free watch.
Amazon Prime.
And there you go.
If you have it, it's on there.
It's on Netflix.
Bad Moon.
And never heard of it before. Would you recommend it?
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
And there's lots of other werewolf movies in the world, but I think these are the two, Howl and Bad Moon, the ones that we'll be taking a look at this year.
These are the ones.
These are the ones that we prepared for you. I hope you...
Please enjoy.
I really enjoyed it, and we hope you do too. I think that wraps up another howling good episode of the McMuscles Midnight Massacre Chapter 2, and we will see you tomorrow night for the next one.
Ooh.
Ooh,